Getting hair extensions can be one of the most exhilarating hair changes that you can get, going from short hair to long, thick, and lustrous locks in one sitting. But hair extensions also mean that you're putting in completely new and different hair attached to your own hair, and sometimes the two just don't match. This can be super frustrating, but there's actually an incredibly easy solution to merge the two colors together. Today I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So whilst unappealing hair can be super frustrating for some people, it actually really excites me because that means I'm about to teach you something really freaking cool about hair. And today I'm teaching you something cool. Let's go! One of the coolest things that I've done this year is I went to the States to get sew and weave extensions for the very first time. And so far the experience of having these was incredible. You guys also agreed that this was probably one of the sickest transformations that I've ever attempted. Between the color, the extensions themselves, and then the styling, you guys praised both me and Joseph for a transformation. Well, it has been a few weeks since then, and this is my hair now. The extensions themselves are still absolutely incredible, but as many of you actually guessed, the difference in porosity between my hair and the extensions themselves are causing the two colors to separate. My hair is becoming much more visible compared to the much vivider, brighter extensions underneath. And sticking up are also not helping, and overall it is one of my biggest fears of extensions brought to life. But when it comes to hair, there's actually very few things that scare me. For almost every single hair problem, there is most definitely an incredibly unique way to solve it. So currently my biggest issue is the color discrepancy itself. My own hair is a darker, more subdued version of the extensions. It also shifts warmer. Overall, my own hair, aside from a very few lavender tips, mostly a brown color. The extensions, on the other hand, whilst the roots actually match incredibly well, ends themselves are naturally brighter, they're more vivid, and because of the natural porosity that these extensions have a low porosity compared to my own natural high porosity, the color tends to stick better on them. This can happen to anyone with any style of extensions, especially if your hair has gone through a lot more than the extensions, or maybe vice versa. You can notice that the extensions are starting to look extension-y. For my particular problem, I actually have one of two solutions to pick from. First one is that I can lighten my own natural hair color to match that of the extensions. Currently my extensions are very vivid. They're like a level 8 to 9, which means that they carry vivid hair colors super well. However, despite me dyeing my hair every other day, I actually am notoriously anti-bleach and anti-damage. I actually want to keep my hair on my head, so I'm actually going for option 2. I can darken the extensions to match my hair. And here's how we're going to do it. So currently my extensions are a very, very rich magenta hue. I don't know how that faded out from the red that I had, but this is what we have left. It's also quite light, so I'm placing it quite high up on the color wheel. My own natural hair, however, is a darker, slightly less saturated, and a slightly redder version of the color. From everything that we know from color theory, the best way to get the color that we want from a different starting base is to extend the line from our starting base to our desired goal, which will give us our color that we need to use. In this case, a dark, muddy orange. I know it's weird, but you just have to trust the process. First thing I'm doing is I'm actually grabbing my bowl and filling it with conditioner. Whenever we're working with semi-permanent dyes, we do not use anything but conditioner because this entire process is a conditioner base. It's just pigment and conditioner, and right now we're literally just taking that and mixing that straight in the bowl. Now I'm going in with Arctic Fox's Sunset Orange and mixing that up in roughly the same ratio as the conditioner. I'm going to be adding Emerald Fortune, and this is where the muddiness is going to start to come out. As I mix, you can start to see one of the most interesting colors begin, and right now it can be very difficult to understand how this is going to look on the hair. But whilst everything seems to work out in theory, it's a whole other thing about how it's going to look in practice, and it can be very difficult to visualize that with something like a tint, which is essentially what we've just mixed up here. I'm actually going to grab some thinning shears and lightly shave off some of the extensions. Don't worry, it's extension. I really want to see what the color is actually going to look like on the extensions themselves, so I'm very lightly just going to apply it and then rub it off. The end color, it's usually very similar to what you're left with once you rinse the dye off your hair. And I'm so happy to see that this muddy orange color that I applied on my vivid magenta extensions actually turned into that deeper, darker brown red shade, very, very, very close to what I'm actually looking for. I know this is my job and I've done this a million times before, but I just impressed myself here. One thing to aim for a vivid color, it's a whole other thing to aim for a slightly ugly, dim, muddy color. And that is why color theory and color correction can be so menacing at times. Sometimes to get to your desired end color, you need to do a mid layer that is going to have you questioning every single moment, every single decision leading up to this moment. But you have to trust the process and trust that your formulation and thought process is sound. My dye ready and mixed up. Now it's time to actually put it to the test. I'm thinking about it, this actually looks so much like henna. It just literally looks like a henna. Remember when I did my henna video? This is spot on. And I love color theory. I also love how versatile Arctic Fox's dyes are. You guys let us know. I've linked them below. You get 15% off with my name. With my name. Let's dye our hair. I do still want a bit of the vibrancy to pop through, especially on the end. So I'm mainly going to be focusing this mixture on the mids of the extensions, and I'm not really going to touch it at all to my own hair. I'm not even lying when I tell you how excited I am for a well-blended set of extensions. I get so pent up, either with excitement or disappointment, if there's extensions that don't blend, especially color-wise. They're already blending so much better, so much better. A lot of people in the comments have been asking me what they're actually like, whether they're comfortable, what the maintenance is like. And I literally have nothing to complain about with these extensions. Like, I cannot say that I've felt any sort of discomfort. I haven't had any headaches or snagging or pulling. And aside from the fact that it's just genuinely a lot longer to dry the hair, especially since I'm very short hair girly, I cannot say anything negative about these extensions. Today we are going to see what it's like to actually dye them with them in my head. Over here, my main goal today is just get this blend point just past where my hair naturally sits. So you can see my hair is kind of here. I don't care if it's hot pink towards the end because I genuinely don't like very solid color hair transformations. So I'm like, as long as it kind of blends towards the roots, I'd be happy. Do you see the difference? This is vibrant, this is more subdued. I forgot what it's like to dye long hair. If I'm being fully candid, so many people commented that they are enjoying seeing the long hair Stella make a comeback, and I'm not gonna lie, I am too. I'm not gonna lie though, like dyeing long hair can be so tedious. Look how pretty, not pretty, but like color-wise it's subdued, right? We're literally going for subdued. We're literally creating brunette out of very vivid colors, but look how much already more subdued that looks, and like a brown going into a very gentle pink. Final section. And this is the section that actually truly makes all the difference, because this is what is first noticeable. And you can see just how vivid it still is up here versus my own hair. I'm vibing. I'm gonna leave this on for as long as I care to. Until then, I actually have an order that I need to prepare for Black Friday because you guys have been ordering my wigs and my brushes nonstop this entire weekend. And if you want, they're still on sale today. But I have a wig I need to prepare, so let's get into it. The Black Friday orders that I got was for my seafoam blue wig that features the most gorgeous Sabrina Carpenter bangs. Today I'm going to show you how I prep it. I had this wig colored a while back, and now we're just going to give it the bangs. When I was taking my very first hairdressing course, one of my classes was geometry, but in a very based on a shapes way. So like we got assignments that to me felt very rudimentary, and I was like, I can't believe this is what they're having us do. Like we were given a picture of a house and we were like told like find all of the straight lines in this picture. We were given a picture of clouds and we're like find all of the curves in this picture. And I thought that that was the most exercise that we were ever given. Now, having mildly matured and vastly more experience, I can understand and appreciate what that actually meant, because there is so much shapes or understanding the importance of shapes that goes into hairdressing or any sort of hair creations. This triangle has to be pretty perfect, but suitable also to a person's face. Now, obviously, I don't know what you look like, so I'm just going to create a shape that is pretty standard to look good. When you have an actual person sitting in front of you, that lesson actually comes into importance way more than you think, because you have to understand, like, how does this triangle merge with the triangle that's in the center of their face, which is their nose, and then how does it work with the lines on top of their eyes, which are their eyebrows, and then how does it go with the curve of her forehead and her hairline? Like, there is so much importance that you have to give towards shapes. So this is the shortest that my fringe is gonna go. Everything else is gonna be longer. Obviously, if you receive one of my wigs and you see that the bangs are too long, which I always attempt making the bangs longer than they have to be and never shorter, so you don't accidentally end up with micro bangs. Too long, you can just trim them. Color Wow Dream Coat. This thing is amazing. I only use the best of the best on my wigs. This is going to keep this fringe frizz-free. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of the wax stick everywhere else on the wig. Tiny bit. You're gonna be popular. Treat you the proper voice, how to flirt. The ways to flirt and flounce. I have recently developed such pride and confidence towards my new title of brand owner and wig stylist. I have a lot of you personally reach out telling me that you're trying your first wig because of me, and so anytime I prepare any one of my wigs, I always try to go the extra mile. Keeping in mind that most people purchasing any of my products for hundreds of dollars, you guys are new to wigs. And most likely this is your dream hair that I'm actively packing and preparing into a box and sending halfway across the world. I personally pack and style every single one of the wigs that you can see on my website, and I recently got an order from Hawaii, and it just blows my mind because I am from Malta. My business is based in Malta. It's a very small business. What do you mean I'm sending $500 worth of shipment to Hawaii? So I always do my very, very best to pack them up super nicely and to make it a super fun experience unboxing, which is probably one of my favorite activities, and I can assume that it's the same thing for you. So this is definitely something that I try to put so much thought into to make it just as fun for you guys. Everything that I'm learning this year with every single order that I got, I'm going to be putting into next year's plans and preparations. I'm planning on launching so many fun new products, many of which you guys are actually actively helping with and actively involved in, including my own hair dyes and the brand new hair tool that I'm so excited to drop. This brand is definitely me. I mean, it has my name, but it is everything that I want you guys to feel when playing with your hair. Stellari is the brand when it comes to creating and achieving your dream hair. hair reveal. I know I'm usually the type of person that is super into really big dramatic hair transformations, going from like A to like Z. Today's transformation was very much subtle and a bit on the nose. Usually I don't have a brand new hair color. I don't have like this grand dramatic change. But there is definitely something that's improved in my look, in my aesthetic. And in this case, it's just that the whole hairstyle is just way more cohesive and it looks like one continuous growth of hair. I still have the brownish hair on top, I still have the pinkish in the middle, but now there's not so much a discrepancy between ends and extensions. There is just a continuation between the two in a way that makes the whole thing look a tiny bit more expensive. It makes the extensions look like it's my hair. And I also wanted to show the reveal on straight hair just so you can kind of actually see where ends where. Obviously, curls do always blend extensions way better. Because today we were doing a bit of a color video, I thought straight could be a very fun kind of a difference to showcase what we actually did. The hair at the root now blends super beautifully. Like there's an extension right here, but you can't even tell because we blended it so beautifully in terms of coloring. I definitely still wanted to keep the pink at the bottom because this wouldn't be a solid transformation if there's not a tiny bit of color. But this kind of a merge between natural and vibrant, something that I value so much, and I've said this before, brunettes. If you have a tiny bit of blonde on your ends, go in with pink. It is probably one of the most complementing color ever, and it fits so well with a naturally brunette root. This was today's transformation. I'm super happy with the results, and if you give this a go on your own hair, make sure to tag me because I love to see your recreations. If you haven't already, watch my actual extension video on my channel. Subscribe to this channel, join the Stella fam, let's learn a thing or two together. I love going through every single hair problem that exists and finding a way to effectively and easily, but still in a fun way, solve them. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give it a go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, babies! I love you. God, I'm actually so happy with this. Hi, who is this? Who is this? Let me know if you prefer the audio in this video. We finally upgraded and I'm really curious. Actually, I'm dead hopeful that it actually sounds decent. Because if it doesn't, I'm screwed. All right. That's it. That's all, folks. Did I turn you off? No, but I definitely pressed a button. What did I do? Ooh. What are you doing?